Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a new news vlog type thing. Sorry about the lighting. It's the 4th of November of this recording, I want to say. I think I said that accidentally in my Death of the Daleks review, which I just recorded on the 3rd of November 2022, but as I say, I think in that review I accidentally said that it was the 4th of November, but it's not. It's about 3:30ish in the afternoon, so it's already kind of getting a bit darker-ish, which is kind of mad. Yeah. Went to the comic book shop today, went for a nice walk and that. Yeah, that was good. I've also now, because I've got these Death of the Dalek figures, action figures, I need to kind of like reorganize the giant windowsill of Dalek Shouty Boys, because I'm thinking of not getting rid of, but where I just was a minute ago is the toy box where I have all of the figures, the few figures there. I was considering maybe putting the Suicide Dalek from Destiny of the Daleks in there, and then one of these Axis sort of dark bronze or bronze and black Daleks, the Axis Squad Daleks I think they're called. Putting those two in the toy box, and then, as I say, having two Death of the Daleks next to the Supreme from Planet, between the Supreme from Planet of the Daleks and the Imperial Dalek from the Remembrance of the Daleks and Ace sort of set, which I think came out back in like 2020, I think, which is kind of mad. As well as getting those Death of the Daleks figures, there were some Eaglemoss figurines, which I bought for like $7.99. So, although to be fair, accidentally I leaned a bit too much on the Missy figurine, and her arm has sort of come off, but hopefully it's easily gluable. And that, as you can see, it's kind of, yeah, they're well sculpted and they're nicely designed, and that. It came with Missy from, I want to say, Dark Water, and although I don't particularly care for the episode Hellbent myself, I do quite like Donald Sumpter as an actor. I did enjoy him as the sort of Alfred sort of character in ITV's Jekyll and Hyde a few years back. Yeah, I think they did him dirty though. I think he maybe isn't a Timothy Dalton like sort of big prolific name, but he's still relatively big in my opinion. So yeah, I don't think it was like a massive step down in terms of the actor they got. And as I was explaining to my mum, what I like about the Eaglemoss collector's figurines is that where the character options have not got certain characters yet, like say Jamie McCribbin or Carven Easter as action figures, Eaglemoss have, although you could argue they overextended themselves, and then that's kind of why they've gone bust, unfortunately, and are no more, as it were. Although I can't believe these were like $7.99 at B&M. Yeah, at Cosmic Toys over in Dewsbury, they were like 30 quid. He's selling them for like 30 quid, which is just bonkers. Yeah, I got some comics today. Can't wait to read the Harley Quinn one. I also love the cover, by the way, Gotham on fire, and Harley and Ivy on the front there. Yeah, they also, as well as having the Death of the Daleks, they seem to, at my local B&M, finally have some more of these sets, the sort of Dalek 2-packs. So I've now finally completed the summer wave, in inverted commas, which came out, as I say, sort of more October, mid to late October into November, but yeah. Yeah, the Eaglemoss figures also came with this little like pamphlet as well of stuff. I haven't got round to reading it yet, but it's just little tidbits about Missy as a character in Rassilon, and that and the other, some behind the scenes stuff from episodes that, as I say, I'm not a massive fan of, but they're not the worst episodes ever, not the best, but I just thought it would be cool to get like lights underneath here to light these on darker afternoons like this. What else was I going to say? Yeah, it's kind of mad to think like if and when I get Aura Singh as a character from Phantom Menace / also Star Wars Clone Wars, but she will be the 4th bounty hunter character I've got in the Black series, because I've got Mando, I've got Cad Bane, Fennec Shand, and then, as I say, Aurra Sing. So most of my Star Wars Black series collection will consist of, as I say, predominantly just bounty hunters, and predominantly characters from sort of Clone Wars / Mandalorian, although I suppose I am a big fan of those two, for lack of a better term, like eras of Star Wars, I guess, in inverted commas. But yeah, I changed the sort of 10th Doctor figure from the sort of spiky haired one with glasses on here to the sort of standard one. Although what is annoying is that I was moving this hand about and then it basically just snapped and didn't have a peg either, so that's very annoying. If I'd have known that was going to happen, I would have mentioned that in the review, that, you know, those hands are a bit prone to doing that. The McGann one, where he has the hand kind of sculpted to hold the Sonic, that is, you know, pops out fairly often, but the difference is, again, there's an easy fix, which is like it's got a peg and you can just like pop it back in, as it were. So yeah, yeah, moving forward with the channel, maybe I might do some more movie reviews, if that's something anyone's interested in. It's kind of mad because like my mental health is a little bit lower-ish, kind of maybe during the winter months, but it's kind of funny how these things happen, because then it's like, you know, this time last year I was making a bit more content, and then most of last year I wasn't making that much content for the YouTube channel, and yet here I am again. So who knows, maybe sort of come beginning of next year I might not be doing much in terms of content, I don't know, just put the lights on for a bit. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, it's another figure that has kind of like damaged stuff is this Inkling Girl figure. One of the hands is glued on, because that, again, I accidentally sort of moved it around and twisted it a bit, and then it snapped off, unfortunately. And the ink tank on the side, nope, on the back of the character, I've just glued that to the back, because it's like 9 times out of 10 you don't see the character without it, so, and without it there's just like a massive gap in the back of the figure, so it's just a bit silly in that sense. But yeah, again, I don't know if anyone would want to see any of my thoughts on any of these films. They're all, you know, I think I've already reviewed way back when on the channel many moons ago, like 3-4 years ago now. God, that's quite a while ago. Deadpool 1 and 2. There's The Suicide Squad, which I think's an amazing film myself. And then, yeah, some more Marvel stuff, some more sort of indie weird stuff like Ghostbusters Afterlife, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Spirited Away right at the other side of there. But yeah, it's been an alright day. Just really tired. Even though I went to bed at about like 11:30 last night, I didn't get a lot of sleep, I don't think. It's very bizarre. I don't know why I'm not sleeping a lot, when usually in the winter months, in the past, when I was younger, even as a teen, I'd start to, as soon as I'd see the darkness, as it were, I'd immediately start falling asleep or getting tired after, and drowsy after I'd had like tea or whatever, which, as you can imagine, would make life a little bit more difficult the older I was getting. But yeah, hopefully there are some more reviews. It's awful to see what happened to Sir Dork on his YouTube channel, like, got hacked, but at least his channel's back, so that's awesome. Yeah, I've got a few ideas of what I want to take some pictures of next for my Instagram and that. And I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but I would really like to, at some point, maybe next year at this point, love to customise that TARDIS exterior box to be like a War Doctor TARDIS. That would be awesome if I could do that, because that was the one that I got quite a while back now, at a charity shop local to where we are now, over here. But with the announcement of that new David Bradley TARDIS box exterior, which is also the first B&M one to have light up sound effects, I think. Don't quote me on that, but that one now will then be the 8th TARDIS exterior box that I've got, which is kind of insane, and the 4th First Doctor figure that I'll have, which again is just mad, because way back when, like 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I only had one First Doctor figure, and that was that one from like the 11 Doctors set, I think, whereas now I've got one from that, then I've got the B&M one with the 2 Sensorites, I want to say, that one came with, and then the one with the black and white TARDIS, and then, as I said, the David Bradley one will be the 4th First Doctor figure that I've got, which is, again, nuts to think about, because I never thought I'd have 4 versions of the First Doctor, but yeah. I'm not too pissed that they're also re-releasing a Weeping Angel. I like the Weeping Angels as villains, as nemesises, villains, monsters, I think they're called monsters, yeah, for the Doctor, but I also really like the design of them in terms of them as a, for lack of a better term, toy. I think there's a very sort of simple yet effective toyetic design. It's like with the Autons, they're really easy to just do. I'm surprised they didn't have, like, in the 3-pack, 2 Ninth Doctors and an Auton, although to be fair, I think someone did, I think it might have been Batman March, I can't remember now, but make a valid point that the last set that was released in a B&M Ninth Doctor one was literally like a Ninth Doctor, an Auton, and like a Rose figure that wasn't even different from the original one, whereas in this upcoming one for the winter, which will probably be January instead of like November, December, unfortunately, that one, as I say, is an updated Rose with holographic Ninth Doctor, which is awesome, and a new Ninth Doctor figure, so yeah, a lot to be excited about with that, in my opinion. But yeah, as I say, I think most of my Black Series figures are sort of more Mandalorian-y sort of characters, like Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan, Mando, Cad Bane. Well, Cad Bane don't come up on Mandalorian, but he does in Book of Boba Fett. But you know, for the most part, you know, even that Stormtrooper at the back there, even though you could be like, oh, he's from Empire Strikes Back, it's technically on the box says like, no, it's Mandalorian Stormtrooper. And then I guess the Imperial Hover Tank Driver from the Archive line I got from Forbidden Planet a while back on Free Comic Book Day, that is a Rogue One figure. So yeah, I think, technically. But again, if they pop up in Mandalorian, then technically you could just be like, oh, he's a Mandalorian Hover Tank Driver. No, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I also kind of like the fact that the helmets for characters are on the floor opposite and behind Luigi and Yoshi. Yeah, I just don't see the point in displaying the figures with the helmets, considering how good the head sculpts are, in my humble opinion. But then again, I'm more akin to the Doctor Who world in terms of figure collecting, I suppose. So, but then again, these figures are a little bit more steeper, for lack of a better term, than the Doctor Who ones. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate and subscribe, and or comment below what you want to see from the channel moving forward. You know, do you want me to dive more into maybe finally talking a bit more about the Chibnall era of Doctor Who now that it's all wrapped up, or do you want me to talk a bit more about Torchwood or Sarah Jane Adventures or Classic Who, Big Finish Audios, do an overview of a comic book run of Doctor Who stuff, I don't know, or I don't know, anything. Are you just happy and looking forward to my content in regards to the upcoming reviews, you know, like the rest of the figure wave that hopefully we'll be getting from B&M either this year or next year. But yeah, please do tell me in the comment section below. That would be great and very helpful. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate and subscribe to the channel.